I'm a black man trying not to get caught. I'm just trying to solve the puzzle like a jigsaw. You know it's a big world, so easy to get lost. I'm just trying to solve the puzzle like a jigsaw.
Can I sing to you? Yours, mine, ours. I can do this for hours. Sit and talk to you for hours. I wanna give you your flowers and some champagne showers.
Sing, mother.
Shrimps and lobster towers. But it's me who gets devoured. Ooh, when you do what you do, I'm empowered.
So
You
good.
give me your superpowers. Oh, for hours. Get through and take a shower. Oh, hours. I can do this for hours.
We want to welcome you all to another episode of your favorite podcast. It is Love Day. It is Valentine's Day. It's Love Week. Welcome back to another episode of the Jigsaw Podcast. I am Josh Rogers.
I am Bryan here.
Matter of fact, I'm the brother of Money Long, and this is another episode of the Jigsaw. Your favorite Casa Negros are back to talk about all of the things, but particularly we're talking about the perils, the praises, the productivity, and the pomp and circumstance of being Black millennials trying to navigate the craziest puzzle piece ever created. Bryan,
yes,
how are you, brother?
Man, it's a great day to be Black.
Oh yes,
a great day to be, in Black love. And I'm excited. Black History Month, is a love for our history, our cultures, and our ancestors. And now we're going to love on them. Are you loving on a Black woman for Valentine's Day?
Well, I mean, I'm married to a Black woman.
Exactly. You made the right choice.
Reverend, you said something that sparked my
all right,
my creativity and my ingenuity. You said that this is a great time to be in Black love. Are you in Black love with yourself?
No, I'm not. I'm all right. I'm yet holding on.
You're not in Black love with yourself? You don't love yourself?
I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, no. Well, maybe. Because Tweet said it like this. Tell you what I did last night.
Yeah.
I came home, say, about a quarter to three. Still so high. Hypnotized in the trance from this body. So buttery brown.
That's a good song.
And tantalizing. I would have thought I needed help from this feeling that I felt. So shook, I had to catch my breath. Ooh, there goes my shirt up over my head. Oh my. It was such a good song.
It's a good song. That's a good album. Southern Hummingbird.
Ain't it?
It's a good one.
Ain't it? I'm over here sounding like Bishop Blake. What is going on?
I don't know.
I like it though. I love rasp. Don't come out. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Man of God, where are you? You look tropical.
I'm currently in at the time of this recording in Marco Island, Florida.
Are there any Black people in Marco Island?
Yeah, they're well in the actual city, not really, but at the at this work thing I'm doing, yeah, there's Black folks here, a good amount of Black folks. We've been hanging out all week, being extra black and loud. So,
is this the retreat you needed for Black History Month? The relaxation you deserved?
Oh no, man, I actually been working.
Ain't that's the thing about work trips, especially when they're in great locations.
Yeah, man. I get up at like 7. Got to be at a general session at 8, and then take a bit of lunch. Listen, it is right. Don't get to sleep until like most nights 2-3 o'clock. At the place, entertaining the people, making sure that they are, the thirst is quenched.
So many innuendos. What are you doing for hours and hours?
Hours and hours.
Shrimp and lobster towers.
But it's you that gets devoured.
Ooh,
that's a word.
You do what you do. I'm empowered. You give me a superpower.
A superpower. That's a song.
Yeah.
I know people are tired of it, but it's a song.
It's a great song before we played it to death. But yes. Did you Yes. I know you've been busy. Did you watch Janet Jackson's documentary?
Oh. No, I was supposed to watch it, wasn't I? Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Bro, I'm not gonna get upset. It is Black History Month, and I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing to continue to love you despite you not keeping your word to your brother.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, the boat shot down. It's okay.
Yes.
Don't do that because I don't know what this episode is going to be like. So, matter of fact, we need to do that. We need to build ourselves up,
right?
Because we might need the help of the Lord.
All right, walk into holiness.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Everything good with you? No, everything's fine with me. Everything's fine with me. I'm tired. I am tired. This old bag of bones is wore down.
Oh gosh,
it's wore down. It's everybody want to be a bad until it's time to be a bad, and and I carry the title gladly. But the work that it keeps to maintain all this at 32 years of African American age, puts a toll on this here body. But my God, is He giving me strength to carry on, Bryan? He's giving me strength to carry on. Yes. My God.
Yes.
So anyway, but no, bro, I'm good. I'm really, really, really good. Some great things are happening in the pipeline. Exciting things are happening all around. That's giving me great joy. If they could have heard our pre-recorded conversation, I have great joy.
Yes, Jesus joy.
Even my shirt says, "Radiate Black Joy."
Radiate Black Joy. Joy. That's your boy.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Down in my soul.
Oh, sweet. Come on.
Beautiful.
There it is.
Oh, joy.
Soul saving joy then.
Joy. Joy.
Oh, joy. Joy
in my soul.
Yeah.
That's when Kurt Franklin was a choir master.
That's when he was, right? He wrote that for the Georgia Mass. That is choir. Wasn't no family, one of that, none of the other stuff.
That was choir.
Quiet.
Hey, joy.
When I get weak. Yeah, that's a good song.
That was a good one. Kurt Franklin had we might just do an episode just to give Kurt his flowers.
Celebrate Kirkland Franklin. Brother.
Yes.
Song of the week. You got one?
I got one. I'm gonna give my favorite song.
Okay.
And it's in theme.
Okay. I'm ready.
It's my favorite song.
I'm ready. Is it Tank or somebody? Because I think you love them. Okay.
No, it's good 90s R&B though.
Okay.
90s R&B.
Okay.
That's a great intro.
Yeah. We're doing this one for all the ladies. H-Town boys. Kicking it with my boy Luke. For the 9-3, you know what I'm saying? Because we will be knocking the boots.
Because we will be. The confidence of it all. We will be.
They gonna do a little something for you real sexy like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo. Check the verse. I like the back when we make good love. Let's not touch no more than gay all night long.
I don't know. I must be allowed to play it, but I'm trying to get to the chorus.
Make these moments once again perfect. So won't you? Do it for us, babe.
Here it goes.
Good loving, body rocking, knocking boots all night long. Hey. Making love until we're tired to the break of dawn. But come on, turn the lights down and let me get on it. Yeah. So when I do just me and you, it'll be so right.
Give me some good love.
Give me some good love. Somebody rockin', knockin' out.
All right, I gotta stop it there because I don't know. I don't want us to, get fined. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure we're past all of that. So we for sure could not monetize this episode if we wanted to. But can I pause real quick and acknowledge a line? It says, "Making love until we tire to the break of dawn." I don't know if y'all heard us a few weeks ago. I'm not doing it.
It's just impossible.
When I get tired, I'm stopping before I get that tired. Right. And to the break of dawn, unless we started right before dawn, the break of dawn, baby, I'm not going to the break of dawn.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
No. By that time, my ball sack is already empty, sis. I'm done.
No, thank you.
Done. Done. Need you wake me up before the break of dawn. We can go again. Because I would have had a few hours
to rest.
In between to rest. You know, Money Longs. I love the hours and hours song, but baby, it's more like minutes and minutes.
Listen.
We're not doing this.
We got other things to do.
We're not doing that.
Right. Time is money. Money is time.
Now, I ain't gonna give you no quickie. I ain't no mini man. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that these tell me what you got, because I don't want no 1 minute. Yes, there's so much good stuff. But what I am saying, this old hour, 2 hour, 3 hour plus foolishness.
No, thank you.
Taper your expectations.
Listen,
I'm 32. I'm 32. And I ain't on the blue chew. Okay?
No.
Giving you the naturalness of what I get. And that's it.
There's so much songs that you've been saying that I just feel like, giving you the best that I got. It's just the musical spirit that hit me today.
Giving you the best that I got, baby. I'm proud to say on my wedding day that I'm giving you the best that I got. Don't you get me caught up on Anita Baker, because she makes me tap into the Holy Ghost. I know that she's so anointed.
She is.
She's anointed. The Jackie Clark Chisholm of R&B. She's anointed.
I thought Sade was the Jackie Clark Chisholm.
Reverend, they are all. You remember how last week we said that Janet walked so that Sierra and Aaliyah and Janae could all run? It's just Jackie. Jackie crawled so that Anita and Sade and everybody else who got that yawny thing going, they're in the lane now. Technical singers, Sade and Anita are better vocalists, hands down. But you can't lie and say they ain't in that same yawny, sleepy category. They all got that thing. They got that thing.
Right.
All right. So with that being said, I was doing accepted. Bryan, are you ready to get into the blessed report? Talk about some black excellence.
So ready.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, we're here at the Blessed Up Report. And for those that didn't know, the song was by H-Town. It's called Knockin' the Boots. You should know if you listen to this podcast. You should know the oldies. But if you don't know, it's H-Town, Knockin' the Boots. Bless Up, Josh. We have a Blessed Up Report that we have to kind of go through. And I guess it's Black History Month. We always do black excellence, black brands, black influence in the culture. So today we have Nate Austin, Art by Nate Austin. Okay. For those that don't know, Nate Austin is originally from Cleveland, Ohio. He's an emerging artist that is making his stamp on the industry. And what fascinates him about any artistic medium is that it can pull the viewer out of a logical and common world and place them within a space that is uncomfortable and unfamiliar. For some, he says, my art resonates and confirms, and for others, it informs and provokes. His work is mostly dedicated to sharing the realities of African American experience, and behind the eyes of the melanated people lies the love, joys, sorrows, and pains that we commonly inherit. And we are so complex in terms of black. We know we're not monolithic, but we have all the things. We have the love, the joys, the sorrows, the pains. It's great being black. But we also do go through things just by being black. So we understand that. And this is something Nate pulls out into his art. And you can find any originals, right? Any originals and prints for purchase on his website. It's artbynfa.com. So art, ARTBYNA.com. Again, that's artbynfa.com to support Nate Austin and his art that is made for us by us. So go out there and support that, especially here in Black History Month,
for sure.
And you know, black art is a thing. So let's go out there and celebrate and support it.
We love to hear it. So bless up to Nate Austin. Yeah. Bryan, did anybody die this week? Notable deaths?
I feel like somebody died. But I don't know who died.
We're going to choose joy. The Lord stayed the hand of death.
Right.
Thank you, God.
Yes.
Thank you, God.
Keeping
All
us.
right. You ready to get into the billboard?
I'm ready. I know it's a lot of mess in the billboard.
Robinette is how we going to start this thing off. He is failing us more and more. More and more. So allegedly, the Biden administration is funding a program that will give away crack pipes to users. That's what they said. But then the administration came back and said that wording is misleading. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, the harm reduction grant program, is designed to offer services like naloxone. I don't know what that is. Fentanyl test strips and syringe services, and to their point, they're allegedly inserting these things into the community as a way to aid those who are struggling with substance abuse and misuse. All we want is our student loans paid.
That's it.
You find $20 million for that, $30 million for that, $60 million for this. Fam, I want Navient to stop calling me. I want to log into myfedloan.gov and for it to say a zero balance. Those are the things that my heart desires. And Robinette, just like the people who do all the performative stuff, is doing everything, Bryan.
Yes, sir.
Except what we want this old white man to do.
Right.
Why? What is the
I don't think he understands that if he wipes out student loan debt for millions of Americans, the level of, for lack of a better word, indebtedness that a lot of us would have. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine what that would look like if your student loans was debt, your student loan debt was canceled, and you can use all that money. Like, to me, that's a stimulus.
That is beyond stimulus.
Yeah,
you're talking about stimulated.
Yeah, that's money that you're not having to pay out. Think about all the money people are paying out every single month in student loans. So yeah, that would be.
We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah,
from all type of students, and and so anyway, so Robinette, figure it out, because this is another initiative, another program that we didn't ask for,
right?
And quite frankly, it's not necessary in times like these.
It's not.
Joe Rogan loves niggas. He loves, matter of fact, he loves just saying nigger hard ER.
Okay.
Recently, there was a video that was produced showing how often Joe Rogan, I mean, he was niggering all through the multiple times, multiple events. I mean, just multiple uses of the word hard ER across his podcast. And people have been responding. Artists like India.Arie and a few others have pulled their music off of Spotify. And Spotify, Bryan, is the platform that gave this man 100. He had a $100 million podcast contract. Can I say that again? He has. He's making more money than some NBA, NFL, soccer, MLB. All the, that's Josh Rosen right there. He's making more money than a whole bunch of folk. Off podcast. Can you imagine if we got $100 million contract?
Listen, Brandon,
I'm quitting my job yesterday.
Oh yeah. Brandon. And the level of this podcast probably would increase significantly because we would just be able to say anything that we wanted, like Joe Rogan.
Anything. And what's even crazier, the Spotify CEO has come out and said that silencing and canceling him he does not believe that is the answer. And allegedly, well, not allegedly, he did. Rogan has since posted a video apologizing and attempted to explain the use of the word. But Bryan, here's the thing that happened.
Okay.
Paula Deen said nigga, that we know of once.
Yeah.
And the clip, wasn't it the Clippers owner?
Yeah, so and go back to Paula Deen. We never heard her. She admitted to saying.
She admitted.
Okay, yeah.
She admitted. And then the clip wasn't the Clippers owner, right?
Yeah, he got caught on video.
He got caught saying nigga that we know of one time. Gone. Joe Rogan then had a whole nigga mixtape. And he is still here. He is still here.
Oh, that's good.
He is still here. He's still doing the thing. And I'm just like, bro, like, I am not about taking money out of folks' pockets, but what I am about is equity and fairness and and we can't pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Who we allow to just kind of openly disrespect us as a culture and companies. We can't pick and choose who we're going to stand behind and who we're not going to stand behind. Just because you gave this man $100 million bag, that's your fault.
Right.
And you will be taking some losses if you decide to cancel or take him off. But I mean, I don't listen to Joe Rogan. So to Kev on Stage's point, I can't cancel someone that I didn't support already.
Right.
So, all of y'all who out there who like Joe, do with the information what you will, but just know that my already lack of support has increased. If it ever comes across my timeline, I quite possibly will not be clicking anything.
Yeah, I don't really support Joe Rogan or anything, so I can't cancel him, and I don't use Spotify for anything, so I can't.
I don't really use Spotify either.
But hey, those of you that listen to podcasts,
but if Spotify is listening, we listen all the time. We use it all the time.
All the time. Podcasts. Spotify, Jamel Hill.
Spotify. Now, okay, that's the one time I do because I listen to the Jamel Hill podcast, and she's exclusively. Oh, I wonder what her response is gonna be.
You're right,
because she's big on social justice and advocacy. So I wonder, and she's exclusively on Spotify. I'm interested to see what her response is going to be. Speaking about things that are very, niggerish. Spirit and Frontier have combined their efforts to become one big airline. The ghetto has just become more ghetto. Bryan, it is reported that they have spent $6.6 million.
That's not even that much money.
It's not even that much money to combat. They spent $6.6 million to combine their efforts as joint airlines. And here's the thing: they announced their collaboration, and they still ain't got no name. But we just don't know what the combined thing is gonna be. It ain't no date when there's gonna be one website. All we know is that it is one ghetto functioning company right now. But let me tell you something. Spirit Airline is booty and trash. The only spirit that I want in my life is the Holy Spirit and wines and spirits. And those are the only two spirits that I want. I don't want that yelling. I don't want the fly soul plane. I don't care that you're combining efforts. You're just bringing in more bad services into your current services. Bryan, are you gonna get one of the Spirit Frontier flights?
Nah, I think I've flown Frontier one time, and that was back in like 2005. I've never been on Spirit before.
I've been on Spirit, unfortunately.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
But I don't. To me,
so bad.
It's just so funny the fact of like. They said they spent $6.6 million. Usually when you hear like mergers, you think like billions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions at least, right?
Hundreds of millions.
6.6 million. That's it. That's all it cost. They literally had a three-way. It was like, listen. It was a FaceTime between CEO. Listen.
Right.
You want to do this together?
We'll do this together or not. Let's do this. We ain't gonna think about the logistics of it all.
We just gonna announce it. We'll figure out a name and everything else later. But for now, we together. Let's just say we go together.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of transitions that may be good for people, but it's still, Keisha got a new job that she might be good at because she wasn't that good at being a mayor of Atlanta.
She was not.
But the former one-term ATL mayor has announced that she's a new CNN correspondent. Let me tell you something. Keisha Lance's bottom was celebrity mayor anyway. I don't really think she cared about policy and things about this city.
She didn't. She just want to hang out with you.
I think she really wanted to just be in that spot. I really feel like it was a resume booster for her. And kudos. Because how many times have we got a job? Well, Bryan is an anomaly. He's been at the same job since he was 15. But
true.
how many other people have gotten jobs just to boost their resume? So I'm going to do this for a year. I'm going to do this for however long. And I'm going to move on. I really feel like that's what Keisha did. To boost her status, her notoriety among the people, and here we are. She's a CNN correspondent. There aren't many details about like she gonna have her own show like Don Lemon, but we will be seeing the former mayor on our televisions very soon on a more consistent basis. Are you gonna tune in to Keisha's show, Bryan?
Probably not.
Okay, that's fair. That was honest and quick too. I mean, my God.
Speaking of correspondence, did we talk about it offline at Angela Rye's new gig?
Ooh, we did not, but we can talk about it. Go ahead.
So I think I read somewhere that Angela Rye is now going to be a correspondent with ESPN.
Yes.
And I found that to be extremely, and not necessarily problematic. I don't know if that's the word, but a little frustrating because Angela Rye, social justice advocate, community activist and advocate, is kind of has a similar, and maybe even like stronger opinions and voice when it comes to political activism than Jamel Hill had. And she got fired for her thoughts, beliefs, and her voice and using her voice for those things.
Very true.
So I find that rather interesting. that that y'all got rid of this amazing black woman, and then now y'all coming back and getting somebody that does the exact same thing.
And it's not to say that we're not happy for A-Rod.
Oh yeah,
and it's not to say that we don't want her to get the bag, but it is quite ironic.
Yes,
and quite interesting that you are absolutely right, Bryan, that they moved in this direction, and they got rid of Jamel for the same thing. Do you think it's damage control?
No, I think it's popularity. During the time
activism
that
it's
activism,
cool kid right now.
It's a cool kid right now. So during that time, Jamel Hill, ESPN, I think that was the first. That was when the Colin Kaepernick kneeling. That's when Donald Trump was on that behind, and people were scared of Donald Trump. But in that was what I think was it Ferguson time, like around. So there was two different times when the Black Lives Matter movement kind of like shifted some things. The first go round when it was Colin Kaepernick kneeling, the mainstream media, right wing media, took it and went with the whole disrespecting the flag thing. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Jamel was on her stuff, like as far as speaking truth to power, and then she I guess tweeted some things at Donald Trump, and it wasn't cool then, but now
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 cool.
after
it
George
is
Floyd,
the popular girl.
It is
right.
It's the thing. So I just find it. I think if anything, ESPN owed Jamel Hill and even Michael Smith, they an open apology
for sure.
And if anything, like some back pay. I don't know what her severance package or whatever was, but for them to now be like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. We can talk about social issues and stuff like that. Yeah, I just think that was real whack. So shouts out to Jamel Hill.
Shouts out to Jamel and shouts out to A-Rod who getting the bag.
Yep.
So hopefully we hear some really amazing things there as things get shaken up. I found this story very, very interesting. Bryan, are you familiar with Tandy Newton?
I am familiar with her.
Okay. So she had this very white woman-esque apology to black women.
Okay.
She gave a tearful apology to darker skinned actresses.
Okay.
In an emotional interview, Newton, who is 49, discussed her new film, God's Country, where she portrays a professor who confronts two white hunters on her property. Yeah, that's the movie. So the movie is based on James Lee Burke's short story, whose protagonist is an older white male. The actress spoke about how she had trouble taking the role at first, Bryan, because she said, and I quote, "I now realize that my internalized prejudice was stopping me from feeling like I could play this role. I've wanted so desperately to apologize every day to darker skinned actresses. Today to say, I'm sorry, I'm the one chosen. My mama looks like you," the British thespian added. She also added and said that it's been very painful to have women that look like my mom feel like I'm not representing them, that I'm taking from them, taking their men, taking their work, taking their truth. Newton's mom, Nisha, hails from Zimbabwe and is a princess from the Shona tribe. So she comes from black people.
Black.
A few things that were problematic here.
Yeah.
You made all these references to there as if black men aren't your men. So as if you're not black or brown.
Right.
There is some deep-rooted colorism, self-projecting going on here. I don't know that you owed darker-skinned black women an apology.
No.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that you stole this role from them. There are some systemic and cultural issues within Hollywood, right? That kind of quote unquote prefers fairer skinned women. We saw it all through the 90s, how fair skinned women versus darker skinned women were portrayed and things like that. So that stuff is not wrong, but I don't think you bear the burden of that, right? I think if you willingly played into some of that stuff, then we could be having a different conversation. But I don't know. Like, I know you were in the movie Crash, but these comments allowed you to crash and burn, sis. Yeah. And you could have kept them to yourself. This is when we need to follow the words in 1 Thessalonians to learn to live a quiet life and mind your own business. That's the Bible, bro.
Yeah. That's the word.
That's the Bible.
That's the book.
Ain't it the word?
That's the book.
Oh.
That's the book. I think, okay, so like, yes, I think she's British. And no disrespect to anybody that's not from the United States, but I think black folks that are not from the US don't really understand some of the nuances of black culture in the United States.
Yes.
So they try to, think they do. So if anything, she just made herself look worse by trying to act like she was doing something. Like it just didn't, it's, I'm not gonna say it's as bad as, the whites wearing candy cloth and taking a kneel. But it's
I don't think too many things are worse than that.
it was doing a lot. I can see the fact of maybe here goes a stretch saying when people approach me for certain roles and I felt like maybe a person or it's somebody other than me probably would have been a better fit. You could say I maybe should have spoken out regarding those things. But like an example would be, and it's not her, but Zoe Saldana. They put her in the blackface, and she played
Nina Simone.
Terrible idea. And at that moment, maybe she should have been like, "Y'all, I know what y'all trying to do. I know I'm a celebrity. I know I'm famous, but I shouldn't have this part." So I'm sure that there are some things in the industry where roles are given to certain people, and even in books and things of that nature, things have been whitewashed or even lightened up. Due to various reasons, due to star power, due to whatever it may be. But I just think that she thought, I believe that she probably was trying to come from a good place.
Yeah,
but it definitely just crashed and burned, and it made her look a little silly.
My God. So, I would say I'm going to pray for Tandy, but I'm not going to do that. we just want to do better. Right. There's so many things that the Lord could be doing, like turning the heart of Robinette to forgive our loans, versus me wasting my prayer time on Tandy and her self-inflicted issues and her feeling like she needed to apologize to darker skinned black women. Girl. Okay, let's move on. Bryan, I'm going to give you a set of lyrics, and I'm going to see how you respond. Just tell me what this means to you, if it means anything, okay?
Okay.
It goes a little something like this. It says, I don't care how long it takes to get an op back. All my niggas outside state, we out back.
Don't know.
I don't care how long it takes to get an op back. All my niggas outside state, we out back.
Am I supposed to figure out what I don't
song artist?
Is that Cardi B?
No, it is the quote unquote infamous line from "Do We Have a Problem?" Nicki's new single featuring Lil Baby.
Yeah,
exactly.
I listened.
So last week we reported that Nicki was coming back and she had all this big promo and she was giving us some Lil Baby. And one thing that we predicted was that Lil Baby was going to float and more than likely outshine the queen of rap. And he did. He did. Do We Have a Problem was produced. It was greatly produced. We'll start there. The chorus is, kind of cool and cute.
Yeah.
The whole video 9-minute film thing was, it was okay. But Bryan, I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
I was a little disappointed in the song as a whole. It didn't move me. It is not a bop. It is not terrible. But it ain't good either.
No.
Have you listened to it in full?
Yeah. I listened to it twice.
Me too. I think I did like three or four times. Just like I wanted to really digest it.
Yeah. And I like Lil Baby. I respect Nicki Minaj's, career, her skills to rap. She's a good rapper.
For sure.
And I think we even had a conversation even before we listened to the song about the fact that when she teased the song, I was basically like, you know what? I think Nicki Minaj does great on tracks where she's just rapping. Like none of the, extra stuff. Give her a hard beat. Let her just give it to us. And I felt like the beat, it wasn't like a New York hip hop beat, but it was still a hard enough beat where she could have just gave us like crazy bars. And she just gave us some okay bars. Lil Baby, like always, just does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
All he wants to do is rap. He wants to take no pictures. He don't want to do nothing.
He just want to rap. He just want to go to the studio and rap.
That's it. And he does it so well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely it was underwhelming. Like Nicki Minaj was underwhelming. Lil Baby was consistent with what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like she could have been. I just feel like I wish she would. But then again, like Lil Baby did wax Drake on his song too.
Oh my God, did he?
Yeah.
But I wasn't even expecting like her to out rap him per se. I just wanted, like you said, some solid verses. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. And this is supposed to be her comeback. So it kind of leaves a little less to be desired. The fact of like you're supposed to come out with an album. Like if this is the first single, your first single is the one that you put out.
Mm-hmm.
I know they teased the second song, but if your first single is supposed to be the one that's going,
Well, I will, because I'm gonna say this. Bussin' is the second song. It sounds like, and it got Lil Baby on it too. So it sounds like that one might be even if it's not like a hard, like dope bars, it sounds like it's gonna at least be a club banger. Like just from the tease. So we may have a solid like banger of a song. But this happened with Queen. Okay. She put out Barbie Teens.
Okay.
And that joint, Barbie Teens or something. No, she did like I don't know if it was Barbie Teens or something else. She did like another song, or was it Megatron? She did some song, or it could have been Yikes too, that didn't really hit. But then she put out Chun-Li. And that's the one. Say what you want to say about Chun-Li, but Chun-Li was the one that like caught on, became the radio hit, and all that other kind of stuff. So this is actually not unique to Nicki Minaj, because Yikes or Megatron did not make the Queen album. But Chun-Li was technically, but since it didn't make the album, Chun-Li was technically the lead single. Okay. When it really wasn't, because Yikes was supposed to come out as the lead single. And it was the same thing. Yikes had a whole bunch of hype, like, promo and all this other kind of stuff. And then and Yikes was better than Do We Have a Problem to me, but it didn't hit with the culture. And so we're seeing that manifest again.
Yeah, maybe she just has a tough time picking songs. Or maybe if this is consistent with how she does it, maybe she's like, I'm going to give y'all the song that I think is good, or at least good enough to be like, okay, this is a Nicki Minaj song. So then kind of put your bar lower just a little bit.
So when I give you like that next hit, y'all gonna be like, oh my God, she killed it, right?
Yeah. Because it was like, again, it wasn't like terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
It ain't.
But I'm definitely not getting in my car and be like, let's ride to Do We Have, I feel like it's some quotables in there, some Instagram captions, because Nicki's always good for that. But like beyond that, and I think me and Bryan, you even said this before, the chorus is actually pretty okay.
Yeah. It's like the chorus, and the beat and Baby were great. Well, not great, but good.
Oh, and speaking to the fact that, her working with women, let's go back. We have to apparently Nicki and JT and Young Miami had a conversation. They reconcile and they was like, let's get past this and make some history. So maybe we could be hearing music with City Girls and Nicki Minaj. I think would be pretty cool. And also Nicki reposted today that Mulatto posted that Do We Have a Problem is her favorite song right now. So Mulatto is a Nicki fan. Nicki clearly messes with Mulatto. Well, excuse me, Big Lotto. I'm sorry. Messes with Big Lotto because she reposted it. So, and Lotto ain't nobody to play with when it comes to rapping. Like Lotto raps. So I would actually be interested to see if there's a City Girls Nicki and a City Girls Lotto type of thing. That would be very, very. I would love to see that.
I would do that. I think women's like hip hop right now, it's just a vibe.
It is
like. It's in like, and it's weird because like the City Girls ain't giving you like no crazy bars.
Oh, absolutely not.
But they are
giving you what they're giving you.
Yeah, they give you what they're giving you, and it's like it's the total package. Like it's weird. It's like it's the total package of who they are. It's like they are.
Let me ask you this then, Bryan.
What?
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but
it's fine.
If that's the case about JT and Carisha now, then why do we hold Nicki to such a high standard when it comes to bars and verses?
Because she set the standard of being a real rapper. And I'm not discrediting JT and Carisha. I'm not discrediting them. But I think the problem with Nicki Minaj, and she did it to herself, she gave us the monster verse.
She did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she gave us the monster verse. Once you give us and show us what level of talent that you have, nothing else. You know,
she has some other verses that may not be as good as Monster, but that are consistent with that level of talent and capability.
Right.
So I think, like, to your point, that is a really great point, Bryan. Like, you've shown us consistently what you can do.
Yeah.
And then you come out with stuff like this, and it's like,
yeah, we put you. It's like, so we don't. Okay, so if Soulja Boy came out with a song right now and gave us crazy bars, we were like, oh,
I know
Soulja Boy.
First of all, I know somebody wrote it.
Right. Like, oh man, Soulja Boy gave us some crazy bars. But we wouldn't be like, you know, we would never put him in that category of like great rappers. If anything, it would be like, oh man, he just, you know, something happened. He was feeling good that day.
Yeah.
But and then imagine like if Jay-Z gave us like some just regular just bars, we'd be like, what is this? Like, do better. Because we know him to be a great rapper. So I think if anything, the reason why we hold Nicki to a certain level is because we know what she's capable of. And, you know, and that's what the Black community does. We hold people accountable. We know how good you are.
Yeah.
And we want what we believe you're capable of doing. I do believe, like, you know, I believe that she has the ability, and she's shown the ability to get on songs with men and give them bar for bar, stand toe to toe. She's been on records bar to bar, toe for toe with Wayne and Drake and Migos, you know. So like, I don't see any reason why, you know, like we should be like, you know, it's okay. Don't worry about it, Nicki. Like, nah, I think, and also she puts herself in that category, but we also put her in that category. She puts herself in one of the greatest rappers. Like, she wants the respect of being one of the greatest, not just woman rapper, but one of the greatest rappers of all time. So when you put yourself in that category, we can't let you just give us some okay bars.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And on Nicki, we love you. We love you over here. We do.
And I think she's a legend. I think she's done something for not just for women. I think she's done something for the culture, for hip hop in general. That she pushed the culture forward just by being who she is.
And going back to say, although like this whole single release thing is consistent what she did with Queen was a solid body of work. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, the best album ever, but it was now Pink Friday is forever her. Pink Friday is an album. I really enjoy Pink Friday. Four Door, Aventador, Bryan, and Shanghai. My favorite Nicki's, my top two Nicki songs, and it ain't number two, Shanghai. My God. But Queen was solid. Queen was solid. So
didn't Queen have that song where she was like name dropping?
Yeah, she did the Biggie rap dreams or whatever.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a hard hip hop beat. And
it was, and she came with, and like her analogies and the people she talked about, like it was all good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And she got some other songs on that album that are really good too, where her bars were solid. So anyway, we're anticipating this coming Friday, Bussin', to be a song that's coming out, and I just got a feeling, even if it's not like the bars, it's gonna at least be that banger, that popular song that we're gonna get from her. Lastly, but not least, Country Grammar was out here busting it for the whole world to see. He whipped out his Peter Whacker on Instagram.
Oh Lord.
Put it on Instagram story by mistake, so allegedly it was supposed to go on his close friends. Can we pause for the cause and say, if you're gonna have a close friend, you have to be intentional on which button you select. My story or close friends. Like, it ain't one of those things you gonna do real quick, and especially if you are uploading sexually explicit content. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you one of the church girls out here and it's like, hey, you know, I don't want nobody to see me drinking, then so, you know what I'm saying, uploading something real quick, then, you know, whatever.
Right.
But if you are up here showing your members to the world, like, you have to, first of all, I'm not putting that on my close friends or nothing anyway.
Nothing, like, no.
If anything, if I'm a single man that wanted to, for whatever reason, share this moment, that's going to the specific group chat.
Yes.
Or the specific friend. You know what I'm saying? And So like that. So that's part one of that conversation. And don't y'all try to get holier than thou on me, because y'all know that y'all done sent that group chat some videos and some images, both men and women, before. So we've taken out the face maybe and all this other kind of stuff. So let's not even act like let's not even act like that. That's not a thing. But I'm not putting that on social media, close friends or not. But if you're going to be so bold to put it on your close friends, then you have to be very intentional. And Country Grump Nelly was just not out here being that level of intentional. So allegedly, it wasn't allegedly. He posted a video of him and a former fling involved in oral sex. And I mean, Nelly was moaning, giving all the words. Nelly was all into it. And the young lady seemed as if she was not all into it, or maybe her capability suggested that she couldn't get all into it. Maybe she's not that good at her job. Or it could have been, based on what the women are saying out here in these streets, that she didn't have a whole lot to work with. So there's a number of things, Bryan. There's a number of things. There's a number of things that contributed to the viral moment of Nelly out here showing the world what he's working with. Bryan, any thoughts? Anything?
Well, I haven't seen the video, but I've seen like the little memes and stuff like that.
Oh, they've been going in on these memes.
Yeah, and then one was like Vienna sausage. So I'm assuming. So based off of the memes, I think without seeing certain things, you can kind of get an understanding of, I guess, what said video had to offer. I do want to talk about something else kind of within line of this that has been floating around social media too.
Okay.
The sip and suck.
Okay. I didn't miss that one. Oh my God. The sip and paint.
Yes.
Okay. So we are done talking about Cornell Iroh Haynes. First of all, this man's name is Cornell Iroh, Bryan. Not Ira. Iral. Iroh Haynes. And he's a junior. My God. So we are done with that. Put it up, Nelly. Put it up. Put your sausage in your drawers and be more careful the next time. All right.
Holiness.
Sip and suck.
Right.
Sip. Now that was a video I wouldn't have. I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't have found that. I said I have to identify. I wasn't pressed about finding this Nelly video, but I had to identify what was happening down to the sip in the paint. So when I first heard it, I was like, who giving head down to the sip and paint, Bryan? But you introduced this. I'm going to let you go because I have so many things that went through my mind.
Right. So apparently it was like a sip and paint, but I think they were painting like nude men.
Yeah, so apparently it was like a bachelor party type thing. So it's an exotic sip and paint.
Exotic sip and paint. So if you've ever been to sip and paint, you basically
party. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't been to sip and paint, basically they give you these what's the thing called?
And they give you canvases. Like a canvas that's like pre-outlined
or whatever, and then you just paint. So I'm assuming maybe they had real models and they were supposed to be painting, but in the video, it was like a 2-second video, so it wasn't like it wasn't long. Like I just saw a bunch of hair. It was in one one woman was just painting, but to the right of her, another young lady was, and
it was aggressive gawks. It was he had her head. He was like, fuck.
Yes,
but you could hear. Could hear
her neck should be broken.
You could hear her jaw slapping his pelvis. I mean, he was jamming that thing.
It was so much.
And here's the thing: you couldn't really see him and his, all that kind of stuff. And then the way he had, woman of God was leaned over in the chair, being smashed. I mean, throat banged. It was so aggressive. It was so much. I mean, she was giving that Nancy Reagan special. Do you hear me? She was throat baby. All of it. Bryan, I'm trying to figure. I asked Asher. I said, what would you do if you was at a bachelorette party with some of your, LSs or just friends, and let's just say Asher Lauren, and let's throw in friend of the podcast, Kiana was at the thing together. Y'all went somewhere, and then y'all at one table, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the model comes over and one of the homegirls at your table start gawking in the middle of the event. Ashley was like, I have no idea. I don't even know.
I think they probably would. I think Asher would have been like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" But I think
Asher would have screamed.
What would Lauren? Lauren probably would have been judging. I don't know what Kiana. Kiana might have been laughing. I don't know what the situation, but I can only imagine.
And they were just going at it like one nothing.
Like
they were in their own zone. Like these other people weren't here. If that's what happens when you turn the lights out down to the sipping paint, don't ever catch me down to the sipping paint. I ain't gotta see none of that. I don't want to be near any of that. Keep your semen away from my paint and your mouth juices away from my acrylics, because it's just so much. It is so much. That was so much.
So much.
That final segment was kind of a very appropriate lead into this living room conversation that we are going to have.
We do.
So, as y'all understand, this is Valentine's, going into Valentine's week. By the time we come back next week, it'll be after Valentine's. So, Bryan and I want to use this conversation to talk about black love and black sex and black and black all the things,
everything.
And we'll introduce it more when we move on. So, Bryan, so let's go. We're already in the living room, so grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your wine coolers, grab your cocktails, whatever it is that you have, and let's go on down to the living room and have this very fun conversation.
Let's do it. All right, we're here in the living room where, we Josh kind of gave the intro in terms of our transition that, Valentine's Day, by the time you're listening to this episode, Valentine's Day will be quickly approaching, and we want to make sure that, things are in place, right? Things are in place for Valentine's Day. I believe Valentine's Day is on, what is it, the 14th? Was that a Monday? A Monday. So Valentine's Day is on a Monday. So, make sure you're prepared for that. So I wanted to have a conversation surrounding Valentine's Day, and I guess we can get this conversation started. To you, Josh, what are your thoughts, I guess, surrounding Valentine's Day?
I have long been a proponent of someone who supports the opposition of the man-made holiday that forces us to prove how much we love our partner. But here's the dichotomy of my existence, Bryan. You ready? I am also the person who goes all out for my partner on Valentine's Day. I've been doing it. I've been having an official Valentine ever since I was 15 years old. When I started with my high school sweetheart, me and her dated literally my entire high school career, just about. But we started dating officially, if I remember correctly, second semester freshman year, but it was like post Valentine's Day. So since I was 15, sophomore year on up, she and I were rocking balloons and bears and coming to school, showing up at a locker, I was that dude. Because my mom was creative, so my mom was making me baskets with Victoria's Secret, sprays and lotions and all that kind of stuff, and secretly loathing it. And in my immaturity, when she gave me a teddy bear, I never forget it. We were standing in the hallway in my locker, and she somehow got into my locker. I'm still trying to figure out how she got my combination. And sis put a bear in there. And I looked at her and said, what the hell am I about to do with this bear? And, that was my immaturity. And we apologized and, we made up. And really don't matter whether we made up or not, we did it together. But from that moment all through college, even when I was single in college, I found a date. I wasn't the person to go kick with my homeboys and go, find women at the bar. I found it, even if it was just a friend, to go kick it with, because I don't know, as much as I didn't fall into the trap, I also was I also don't want to be here at the house or in the dorm. And then when me and Ashley started dating in college, and of course it was, same thing for her, gifts and balloons and, all the different kind of stuff. So I've always celebrated, but I've not always been happy about it. And I know so many people, Bryan, especially me, and I think we're going to get to this a little bit later in the conversation, are I don't want to feel forced, but I really do. And I know you're this type of man too. I've sent random flowers. I've bought random flowers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all the stuff that they tell you to do, I I do that kind of stuff consistently with my wife. Anyway, we verbally tell each other that we love each other. We have our intimate sex life. We like all the things, right? There have been plenty of times we've just sat here and drank wine together and just enjoyed each other in conversation. We do our date nights. We find ways to continue to connect. Now, I'm not against having a specific day that's like, oh, we're gonna celebrate love this day. But to me, and people can say I'm hypocritical because I go crazy for Christmas, but there's something different about like if I don't, because think about it with Christmas, Brian. Like you don't really like Christmas.
I do.
Before Brooklyn, you didn't celebrate hard. But I don't think that took away from your ability to recognize and honor why we celebrate Christmas, which is the birth of Jesus Christ. I don't think you love God any less. I don't think you worshiped, and your relationship, your Christianity was at stake. And something about Valentine's Day, when you make the choice, it's like, oh, you don't love her, or you don't love them, and blah, blah, blah. And that's the part that bothers me. Like, because I remember one year when me and Ashley first got married, we were broke. We bought each other Starbucks cups. That is all we could afford. But that was it. So, but to the untrained eye, would it look like y'all ain't really blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about Valentine's Day. Again, because I've been in relationships with individuals who these women have really wanted to celebrate, which most women do. I've always, celebrated, but not necessarily because I was so gung-ho about it. How about you?
Same thing. I think I have the same sentiments. I think to me, the biggest issue is the fact of like, there's so many things. When it comes to holidays like this, it's performative stuff because people expect certain things. Like if you married and you don't post like your spouse on Valentine's Day and have some nice, great post about how like the love of your life and stuff like that, people start suspecting or thinking something's wrong. So then you feel like you have to post something and it's like, but it's like, we married every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, oftentimes when I do go out of town, I would like send flowers or whatever. I didn't do it this time, but I'm a good husband, great husband, 365. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think sometimes these days, you're kind of like forced to really put on, and that's what I feel. I feel like when it comes to Valentine's, I feel like I'm forced to put on, just because I don't use the world, but the world tells us we're supposed to put on for that day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you though.
It just to me it's real silly. I'm not a big fan of holidays anyway. Everybody knows that, but I think this one is just one of those. Just like, okay, that's fine. Like, but holiday is special to me, and for this reason, my mom always went out her way to make sure that all of me and my siblings had Valentine's Day presents, gifts every year. Which is the weird thing. And I'm a type of person, I'm not really big on traditions. I like to create my own traditions when it comes to things, when it comes to my family.
Yeah.
But that is something I see myself participating in. And if anything, make sure that Brooklyn, even though again, she feels special all year long, she gets stuff from me all the time. Make sure she has a Valentine's Day, or, make sure I'm taking the Valentine's Day gifts to her school so her little friends in her classroom and stuff like that can, do the Valentine's Day stuff. So, I guess, long story short, or to wrap everything up, I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day. I feel like I do it or participate just because I feel like it's the thing you're supposed to do. But I can really give or take it.
Same here, and I love the fact that you said that about your mom. My mom did the same thing for us, me and my siblings. Like one year, my mom got me, we talked about this before, Echo. I had an Echo watch. I love that thing, and I woke up that morning and it was sitting right there on my dresser. And she bought us gifts, and she would write little notes and all kind of stuff, and she did that up until when like me and Rashonda specifically started like really dating. I don't know what she continued to do for Jessica, because when Jessica navigated all of high school, I was in college and I had moved away, as most people know. So, but I can always say my mama still gave a flower, a balloon, or a bear or something. And it was just something that she did. Like, I think to this day, she sends us at least a text message wishing us a happy Valentine's Day. She still does that. And my wife does it for her, for our boys. She, gives them flowers and gifts and candy and, shows them. So I do think in that, again, I'm not against showing love. I just think that it is the pressure that surrounds how we should do it, how big we should do it. If you're not doing all these other things, like, how hard it is to find a reservation in Atlanta. bro.
I hate it.
The last 2 years, me and Ash have ended up having like 9:30, 10 p.m. reservations because quite literally, that was all that was left at some random. Now, I will say the good thing about it though, if you go to like the open table, and this is a cheat code, and literally type in there, but type in filter your results to only show restaurants with reservation. You won't waste your time. You will find some hidden gems. Out there. Now you gotta suffer through the Red Lobsters and the Longhorns because those will pop up too. But once you filter through that, you will find some very hidden gems that people really don't know about, and you will find like this 8 o'clock or 8:30. Like, so it's actually a really dope way to try new restaurants that you may not have known of, that may not have been on your list, that could, become a new personal favorite. So that is actually one little quirk that I love about it, because I'm able to kind of discover some places like that. Let me ask you this, Bryan. How do you, considering how you feel about it, do you want to be celebrated? And if you are, is there a specific way that you want to be celebrated?
No. That goes to my personality though. Like, I'm a type of person, I don't like being celebrated.
Oh God, yeah, that's very true.
And I'm doing better with.
I forgot who I was asking. Go ahead.
I'm trying to do better with allowing myself to be celebrated by others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really. Again, to me, Valentine's Day in my mind is just another day.
Just another day.
It's just another day. It's another day. But I think I might want to, not Valentine's Day, I'll probably call it Love Day. Even though every day is a day of love, I think that might be a day of just expressing and, teaching each other, the importance of love.
Ooh, that hit me. Love.
Let's go.
A word that comes and goes. Yeah. Few people really know what it means to really love somebody. Love.
Yeah.
Though the tears may fade away.
Okay.
I'm so glad your love will stay. Yes. 'Cause I love you. And you show me, Jesus. Woo!
Yes.
What it really means to love. Patience, kind. That's love. We got to do an episode about Kurt Franklin, Patty. Like, there's so many things.
The flowers.
But no,
the flowers.
I love that though. I love that. More of a celebration of love. I'm gonna say this. Okay. Y'all come here, people, you hypocritical, tell me what you want to make, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say that because this is my business. While I am not big on celebrating Valentine's Day. I am really big on reciprocity. So I'm the kind of person, if it's your birthday and stuff like that, I will give for the sake of giving. I will give friends, my spouse, my family, all that different kind of stuff. I would give you stuff just because. There have been times I've been out with my friends and like even just something as simple as Starbucks. And I'm like, what you want? I'll put it on my card, right? I'm just that kind of person. I don't mind giving. I love giving. That kind of thing. But at the same time, when there are specific moments where reciprocity is supposed to be in order, if we're going to show love, this ain't just about you.
Yeah, so, let's talk about that for a second.
This ain't just about you, right? So while we can say, Valentine's Day is for women, and I get it, like, the men are treating the women, or, whoever is I'm gonna say it like this, because, this is an inclusive show. Whoever's taking on the more feminine role in the relationship, that person is usually pampered and given more things. However, this does not mean that the man or the more masculine or the masculine presenting individual in that relationship does not deserve the things. Right. It doesn't mean that they should get like some funky, pair of socks or something. Kind of like what y'all like to do for Father's Day versus Mother's Day. We'll talk about we can talk about that in another episode. But so I say that to say, if we're going to celebrate, then let's celebrate. Like if we're gonna make the decision to do it, I don't mind planning the dinner. I don't mind, setting up the massage. Or people still get massages in COVID. I guess so.
I haven't had one in a while. No.
But I'm guessing they are.
It's still happening. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't mind setting up, the events or the things. However, when it's time to exchange gifts, if you pop up with a Target gift card, I'm gonna have attitude. That's gonna make me have more of attitude. I'm just gonna be honest. So while I don't really care about being celebrated on Valentine's Day, if we make the choice to do so, then let's do it. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
I agree with that. And I agree with that. I think it's 2022.
Yes.
Okay. And I think we've shifted as a society. And I think we probably need to be a little more, what's the word? A little more equitable in how we do things. And I think the time is out for, like just being like, oh no, the dude needs to just do everything. Like, I think it should be, if anything, like, how about both people put as like, let me see, reciprocity, right? So giving out like what you want. So, if you want, people want all these things, they want, and I see this all the time, like when they want men to put in effort and to plan things and to do these things and this things, and then you just want them to show up. And I think what happens is too is, if you think about society, which I probably reason why I think Valentine's Day the way it is for when roles were a little different, when the man pretty much just went to work. And that's all he did was go to work.
Yeah.
And then the wife was at home, doing all the things and cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids and all that kind of stuff. And then it was like, at that moment, all right, boom, the husband, you're pretty much saying, wife, I love you for all the things that you do. Right. But now, in being 2022, a lot of men like myself, yourself, we work, but then we're all active participants in the household, cooking, cleaning. I don't necessarily do laundry. That's something Lauren decides she wants to, take on. But in terms of like active roles in the house, like it's pretty even. You know what I'm saying? In terms of going to work and also doing domestic duties. Yes. So I think if that's the case, even though I don't want to be celebrated, I can see I can agree, or I would even encourage ladies, if you do have especially if you have a good man. Let me say that, especially if you have a good man, to go all out, like really.
What Salt and Pepper say? What a man! What a man! What a man!
What a mighty good man!
What a mighty good man!
Do treat them and respect. And this, this is off topic, but it's on topic. Like, I think sometimes good men can because they're just good, can oftentimes feel like underappreciated, because some people expect like, oh, I got a good man, so this is who he is, and this is what I deserve.
And that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to take care of me.
He's supposed to take care of me. He's supposed to. I deserve this. It's supposed to happen. But if you look out there in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is out here nigging. You know what I mean? Like, so I think especially in moments like this, it shouldn't be one sided. I think if you have a good man, good husband, good boyfriend, whatever, good girlfriend, whatever it is, right? Show up for that person and use it as an opportunity. If you decide to do it, show up for that person and don't let it be one sided. Don't let that be one sided at all.
That is so good, and I think two things can be true. While yes, that man should be a good man, we should be good people to each other.
Should be, definitely.
But that means, to Bryan's point, like, just because it is the expectation does not mean that you can't appreciate the goodness that they are, right. Or that they present, right? So, and that goes on both sides of the coin. We're not just saying women, you got to bow down and, we're not saying that. We're just saying, like, don't take, not that just that man, but your partner for granted. If they are a good partner, right? Celebrate them, love on them, and not just Valentine's Day, but any kind of day.
Yep. So with that being said, and I know you said earlier that you are a giver, you give the gifts, you go all out. So what would you consider to be a good gift for you? But then also, while we're at it, what would you consider to be a good gift for your partner? So without spoiling anything.
Yeah, no. Well, I ain't spoiling it. But when I tell you, I've mastered the art of, especially Valentine's Day, of my last minute gift giving. Because Asha is also not super materialistic, and I'm the kind of person, I pay attention to her. Right. So when she drops stuff throughout the year, even around Christmas, her birthday, like, I'm listening. Right. Now I will say, my wife is not, she's not a bad gift giver, but she doesn't, she's not as
intentional.
I wouldn't want to say intentional, but as attentive to like the little things that I say. So like if we're walking in Macy's, hypothetically, right? And we're walking through Macy's to get to another store, and she stops and says, "Oh, this is nice." I've taken a mental note. And it ain't nothing serious. I don't make no note. But it's just like if I go back in Macy's when it's time to get a gift or something like that, I'm like, let me look for this. I remember we were in here. And it just comes natural to me. It's not like I'm thinking about a gift in the future. It is literally just my natural kind of, all right, cool. That's what she wanted. Asha, and to Asha's, to her credit, she just don't be remembering stuff like that. Like not that little stuff. Because I could literally be in the same Macy's and walk past the cologne and be like, ooh, I've always wanted the Chanel men. And she ain't gonna bit more think about that. She's just not. Right. But she will say, what's that cologne you wanted? And when it's around Valentine's Day or Christmas, I'll be like, oh, she's trying to get me. She's trying to remember that, So I say all that to say it really depends on what she's kind of been teasing. Like she literally sent me a link the other day of this infinity bracelet from Zales. So I was like, I know it ain't a need, but it would be really nice. I'm like, okay. And she's usually not like that, just kind of like out there with it. But like, yeah, so I usually, I'm usually doing something with flowers and stuff like that, sending something to her job. I'll see, if I do something like that this year, if I, wait till she comes home and have something. But because roses, just like with weddings, how things are ridiculously more expensive. Yeah. Flowers and stuff are ridiculously marked up during this time. Yeah. So anyway, so it'll be something like that. It'd be one of those things where I may communicate with her mom earlier in the day and be like, hey, can you watch the boys? We'll pick them up tonight. Or even if that's not the case, I'll make sure that the boys, they might get some wings and I have like a nice steak dinner, cook at home for us, like little stuff like that. I mean, one year we went to Jim and Nick's and had a whole family Valentine's Day because it was just what it was. I mean, we didn't have no babysitter, we had to do it. So I don't really know yet, but I do think men, for your partner or just partners in general, try to be intentional and attentive to the things that they say that they want or the things that they really enjoy. Like for me, you can always get me. I love draws. I only wear Calvin Klein and Nike, however, but I love draws. So you could always give me a pair of underwear, specifically, what is it called? The compression shorts, because I work out so much. So that's always something that I would enjoy. Workout clothes, because I work from home, so I wear a lot of sweats and t-shirts and stuff anyway that I can also use in the gym. That's great. Metcons are my favorite now training shoes. So another pair of those would be great. Like there's just like, what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like, if you just know me, those type of things would be really dope. Or if you heard me say, I think I'm going to get this, and you see that it came, I haven't mentioned that it's on the way. Right. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I do. So, my advice would be to, and I think I answered the question both ways. Like, so do that for me. That's the kind of gift I would want. And that's the same type of attention that I see. And just as a small caveat, as I wrap this up from my end, if Asha hasn't really been saying anything, because Valentine's Day is only 6 weeks away from Christmas, give or take 6-7 weeks, something like that. If she hasn't said anything that she wanted between what she got from Christmas and now, then I just kind of jump out there and just kind of, get something I know she'd like, or a service that she'd enjoy, and then that's that. How about you, bro?
Same thing. I think I kind of do. I like to remember things as much as I can, or I take notes. Or sometimes I'll just go to the text message thread and just type in like I want, or any links that may have been sent and stuff like that. Regarding me, I don't know. Like I'm really kind of tough to buy for. I usually just buy stuff randomly that I want. Gifts aren't anything that I like really, get and be like, oh man, like I feel loved. I don't know. Like I'm appreciative of everything that's given to me. Okay. I don't think there's anything I'm ever like, oh, this is terrible, because I understand that, you don't have to give me anything. It's the thought, is really important to me. Yes, I don't know. That was actually a tough question, but yeah, I guess to your point, that was great advice in terms of the intentionality of it all and being attentive throughout the year. That is a tip that I try to use if I can throughout the year. Try to write down things. I kind of keep like a running list of things that I could potentially purchase throughout the year, and then you kind of do some research, because flowers are cool and all, but I think buying flowers during Valentine's Day is like the least creative and thoughtful thing to do. And like you said, Josh, it costs way more.
Way more.
And sometimes I may do like the chocolate covered strawberries because that's just fun. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I know I'm going to pay a lot for, but I know it's something that she's just like she's going to enjoy.
That's just terrible with flowers as well. So
yeah,
that's the other thing.
I know
they're going to
eat them. Yeah. I know she's gonna eat them, so that's something. And then, or if she doesn't eat all of them, then I'll eat some of them. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. But I don't really go all out. I used to, but I don't really go all out for Valentine's Day. And our anniversary is in April, so I usually try to, like Christmas. I usually go all out for Christmas, and then if we decide to do that, and then Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and then our anniversary is like right on the corner after that. So it's just a lot. Yeah, so we just transition or pivot a little bit. Okay. What is the greatest gift known to man?
Greatest gift known to man, just in general?
That God gave to man.
Oh! Heaven sent me a wonderful, very special. You got me started. Beautiful gift. Boom, boom, came all the way down from heaven through 42 sub-generations. And it's Jesus the Christ, born from Mary and Joseph, and they didn't even hunch to make it happen. It was Jesus.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Jesus.
Ooh, brother, give me stirred like that no more. Because that is a favorite Walter Hawkins song too.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So during around this time,
okay,
Jesus is kind of brought up.
I know where you going. I know where you going. You want to tell me out? You just did.
So how do you feel about women being like, Jesus is my Valentine,
girl? Enjoy the lunch, because that's who's not having lunch with you is Jesus. I know Jesus, he is omnipresent. I know he is everywhere. He is ever present. He is all powerful. But what he is not is your husband. When they said he was going to come back to be a comforter, they did not mean in your bedroom, sis. Jesus is not your Valentine. He ain't your boyfriend. I know Kiara wrote a song that said Jesus is my boyfriend, but it was wrong. It is theologically incorrect, and it is actually just dumb. And I love Kiara Shear. Kiara Shear Kelly, excuse me. But that is not it.
My house.
No, whole another conversation. But no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't subject my Savior to your shenanigans. If you lonely, if you single, sis, you single.
Right. That's fine.
It's okay for you to say, I'm waiting on Jesus to, make sure he reveals to me who my husband is. That, maybe one day I'll meet him and I have a Valentine. But Jesus is not your Valentine. And while we on the subject, neither is your son. So I know me and Bryan talked about the traditions that our mom give, but it was not to the point that that was our Valentine. And me and Bryan come from two separate households. One was, single family, one was, and I don't believe that even though Bryan grew up in a single household, that Sister Valentine made those brothers her Valentine. I don't think Miss Cynthia did that.
No, she didn't.
She didn't do that.
No. Her objective was to. My mom's whole thing was making sure. That's why love is extremely important to me. How it's presented, how it's shown, all those things are extremely important because she wanted to show us what love felt like, and she didn't want us to. She doesn't want us to have to go look to the world and not try to be churchy, but to look for love, right?
I get it.
So she wanted to kind of show us, like, and then sometimes also if nobody out in this world loves you, your siblings and your mom love you.
Your mom love you, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't get no Valentine from nobody, no candy from nobody, at least you can always depend on your siblings. I think we gave each other Valentines sometimes as far as siblings.
We didn't do it.
You can always depend on your siblings or your mom for love. So yeah, that's silly. If you are solo, hopefully the saints ain't listening here. If you are, go ahead and turn that fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, hit that 30-second button, press it about 3, 4, 5 times.
But if you sing on Valentine's, you can, there's things you can do,
Tell you what I did last night. Let's bring it back.
Hello.
I got home.
He's the Rose of Sharon, but there's a rose out there that you can.
Rita Sucker said a rose. It's still a rose.
Still a rose. That's out there shaking up the world right now. That rose is shaking up the world.
Yeah, and brother, what I'm saying? There's a light
The light of the world.
That's a light. That is made perfect for your level of insertion. Whether you are what the women are saying, whether you are down there on the scale, like the women have described Nelly, or you all the way up on the scale with the horses of the world, wherever you land, there's a light that can fit you.
There is.
And you can shake
that thing
until you can prove that you have officially and fulfilledly, I ain't even no word, but I'm gonna use it anyway, loved yourself. Okay, love yourself.
Yeah, so those are so don't try to make Jesus your Valentine. Don't do that.
Don't insert him. And can we talk to the saints real quick? We talk about Jesus.
Let's do
Turn that Sacred Love Songs TD Jakes album
please
off. Turn it off. Matter of fact, Bryan, I'm gonna make this commitment online.
Okay.
I'm going to curate a Jigsaw sex Valentine's playlist.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it out to the people. So Bryan, when we're done recording, send me about 4 or 5 of your favorite, sex playlist songs, and I'm gonna put about 4 or 5 of mine together, and we gonna put out a playlist for the people and put that. And we love Money Long. Money Long, if you're listening, you gave us a dope song. What you gave us in hours and hours is kind of like LMA Boot Up. It's been played over and over. It is ubiquitous. We can't get away from it. But I know I'm personally tired of it.
Yes.
As funny as some of the, the old people and the children are singing and stuff like that, and all the parodies and memes and recreations, like, it's all great. But there are so many other songs, people.
Yes.
And now I ain't gonna be mad at you if you put hours and hours on there, because it's new and it's current. And it'll get the job done. Don't get me wrong. But Bryan and I are gonna curate a list. And we want y'all to listen to it. We're gonna make sure that's available. I'm gonna try to drop it. We're going to try to drop it when this airs. We're going to try to drop it when this airs, so that y'all got a few days to sit with it.
Sit on it.
Figure out how you want to show.
Oh, that's going to be on it. That's going to be on it. That's going to be on it.
to figure out how you want, how you want to utilize it, or you want to play it, and all that other kind of stuff. And if you ain't married, make sure that you are being responsible in your sexual endeavors. Listen, make sure you're on your birth control if you don't believe in it. Figured out a ways, but you also need to just make sure, regardless of birth control, that you're wearing a condom. Brothers, if you don't know who she is, put hot sauce in the condom. So you Drake. Shouts out to Drake. Shouts out to Drake. Ladies, last year we had the curious case of Puny Peter. You know what I'm saying? If that's what pops up on Valentine's Day, sis, sorry to that man. Sorry to you.
Right.
We don't know what to tell you. But all we are telling you is that if you do find yourself to be solo, Bryan, I think we're telling the people there are ways you can love yourself, but there are also ways, right, that you don't have to insert our savior into that conversation. Go out with your homegirls. Brothers, go out with your homies and go to a bar and see, can you meet somebody? Like, there are so many things that can be done where you don't have to be like just ultra bitter and stuff too.
Yeah, and kind of talking about bitter, like, even before our next question, I want to kind of ask you in terms of our conversation, which I think we need to probably hit on. But even like, let's Josh, we're 2022, right? We are men who are learning and unlearning things.
Yeah,
you can use this as a day to show love, right? Even if it's your brothers, you know what I'm saying, like your friends, your male friends who may be single. You may not have to go to the bar and try to find women or whatever. You can be like, you know what, I'm hanging out with my brother tonight. I'm gonna show y'all I love y'all. And just, it don't have to be nothing. Y'all be weird with the whole like macho pause culture type stuff. Like, just hang out, show each other love, do some great things like that. Women, hang out with your girls. That's fine too. And if you got kids, hang out with your kids, whatever it is, show people love on Valentine's Day. But sometimes I think, dudes, in a few things. Okay. One, I used to see a lot of people get upset when we see things about divorce on the internet, like, and a woman gets a lot of money. Another area is we see when a woman gets a bag for having kids. In another situation that kind of brings out a lot of those dudes that be bitter is on Valentine's Day. You see a lot of bitter posts on Valentine's Day. So how do you feel about men who are always seemingly bitter on Valentine's Day?
Well, you know, and again, this may sound hypocritical because you just said that we don't really care and that we could do without it. But I'm not sitting in that, you know what I'm saying, like almost offense. You know what I'm saying? So so for the dudes who's like, man, I hate it. It's all about the women, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you need to go back to the early part of our conversation and find you a partner who's willing to show, because I think part of it is that a lot of the men feel neglected and they've always been neglected, and maybe like with me and you, they didn't even have the mom or the person that showed them just love on their day. So for them, it may have always just been the pressure of giving and doing, and when it's one-sided, I can see how you could hate it. But brother, like to you say, if this is the time to learn and to unlearn bad behavior and things like that. So that's just kind of where I sit with it. Like, don't be overly bitter in the situation. Find ways where you can be celebrated as well. And look forward to the moment where you can find joy beyond all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? How about you, bro?
Yeah, and I think in moments like this, I think people kind of get frustrated from like the feeling of like, y'all just using me on Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? Like, women just use men on Valentine's Day. Y'all just want stuff for Valentine's Day. Y'all want me to take y'all out to dinner and do all that kind of stuff, and I'm not getting anything in return. Right. So I think if anything, minimize your expectations. Right. So don't think,
that's really good.
2022, don't be out, Valentine's Day, I'm gonna have sex. Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? Minimize your expectations as far as what you think you're going to get or should get. And then also, it's okay to sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? To me, it makes no sense to, the week of Valentine's Day is coming up, the Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Let me go into my phone, and try to find somebody, a hookup, a link up, a sneaky link, whatever it is. You ain't gotta do that. Like, just sit this one out. Like, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, just sit this one out. Don't try to last minute love somebody. And then what's gonna happen is it ain't gonna work out, and then you mad and you bitter.
Looks like another love TKO.
Right. Might as well I'm mad with these hoes and then all that kind of like.
Right.
No, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. It's not cool. It's not becoming. It's not what it is. So just don't do that. Any other points on that?
No, none at all. I think you covered it. Something interesting. So last week we asked you all to send in letters and stuff because we didn't do a listener letter last week, and we had a couple in there that did not. We got some. We had a couple in there that did not fit in with relationships and Valentine's Day. But last year we told you specifically to send us your relationship Valentine's Day letters, and y'all did it. I mean, y'all did it, and you did not disappoint. So me and Bryan wanted to kind of shift segments and a little bit and end the living room by answering some of your questions. So before we get into it, I'm going to do the official spiel. You too can always send a letter to askthejigsaw@gmail.com, and we will possibly read your letter out loud, give you a pseudonym, and give you the best non-professional therapeutic advice that we can give. However, now that I got that out of the way, we want to end the living room segment by answering these questions. I think we got about 3 of them in there that Ryan and Jenkins dropped off. So, Bryan, I'm gonna throw it to you, brother, to read them, give us the pronouns, and
Are we doing pseudonyms? Or are we
gonna still do pseudonyms. I'm gonna try to make them quick. If you throw them in, I'm gonna try to make them quick.
All right, bet. All right, so let's get there. Let's go to the PO box real quick. Blah 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 blah. All right, great. Here goes. All right, first one. Pronouns, he, him.
Ooh, let's name him after Nelly. Cornell Haynes. Go.
Cornell Haynes. All right. Cornell. Lil Ping Cornell says, hey guys, love the show and thanks for the call out to send letters to V-Day. I definitely need your help here. My wife and I have been married for 7 years and have been I've been having conversations about spicing it up. She mentioned that she wants me to start eating butt. Wow.
Okay, straight to it.
All right, let's get there. Let's start about it. To her surprise, I was completely game. She was shocked because she thought I would not do it, but I've really been thinking about it for some time now. Now that I know she wants it, I'm hyped. Here's the dilemma.
Okay.
In terms of how she can spice it up, I want the same treatment. Oh, all right. Yes, I want my butt ate too. I don't think she's going to do the game, but I don't want to miss an opportunity to get what I really desire. How do I approach this? Any advice would help, Mr. Was it Haynes?
Mr. Haynes.
Mr.
You want to go for? We're gonna try to make these quick because we got it.
Make quick. All right. So let me preface this by saying, so a few things. I'm, for those the saints that are listening, this is a married couple, and y'all taught us
they are married.
Y'all taught us that the bedroom is what, Joshua? Undefiled. Okay,
so undefiled.
Undefiled. So you can do whatever you want in the bedroom. That's what they taught us. So at this point, bro, like if that's what you want to do, like go ahead and do it. Let it happen. But I think the thing he said, he wants to spread his legs and his cheeks.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
That's what he said. That's his dilemma.
And his dilemma is that he don't know if she wants to do it, bro. At this point, you have to just ask.
That's it. Words in my mouth. That's really all you can do, because if you're saying that's what you really want, you just gotta ask. You gotta have a conversation, and she's either gonna say yes or no. But I feel like if y'all been talking about spicing it up and that's what you want, you gotta put it on the table.
Yeah.
All pun intended. You gotta put it on the table. So that's it. That's all we got. Ask her. Have a full-fledged conversation about it, and maybe if she's not game, think what's number 2 on your list, right? But also talk about maybe why she's not game. Like explore it. I would say explore it. Don't sit there and hold it in, but definitely explore why she might not want to eat that butt. Because if that's what you want, brother, then get your butt ate. Do your things, brother. Do your thing. All right. Next letter.
She her.
Ooh, she her. Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan says, "Hey brothers.
Okay.
Love you too, and we love you too, and the show. Shout out to Josh as my Memphis brother.
Hey,
I am from the Haven.
Haven. I'm from the Haven. How you doing? Go ahead.
Yes. I said, okay. Here's my question. My partner and I have been together for 2 years. And we are seriously monogamous. We currently live together and have had conversations about marriage. Recently, they have upped the conversation. Excuse me. Recently, we have upped the conversations by asking me about ring size, time of the year for weddings. Based on all of this, I have a strong feeling that they are about to propose on Valentine's Day. I do not want that. Wow. Okay. I don't want to sound selfish, but how cheesy and cliche. I don't want to ruin it, but how do I express what I want? Am I being selfish here? How would you have felt if your wives gave you details about when and not to propose? Love y'all. Shaka Khan.
I think you are being selfish in a sense. I can understand why you wouldn't want to happen on a holiday. So it is cliche to get proposed on birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day especially. But if this is something y'all been talking about, and this is the way that your partner, because you said your partner, then you used to pronounce they, so I'm not going to say, assume it's a him. But if this is how they want to do it, then my suggestion would be just let it ride. Let it ride. And maybe this could be a joke y'all have in the future about, I never really want to do this on Valentine's. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't bring up a conversation necessarily about let them have that moment to do it. Because you do really kind of sound selfish. If that's something that you really, really want. I think that's about it, Bryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be selfish, but if you wanted to, you can be funny and just put something on social media like, don't y'all be out here proposing on Valentine's Day.
You could be passive aggressive and do that too. You could.
That would be funny.
I ain't mad at that, Bryan. That's good and petty. Right. I like that too.
Good and petty. But then depending on the person you have, they may be like, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. Just to, are you gonna say no? You know what I'm saying?
Equally as petty, right?
Right. So, great point. Shout out to Shaka Khan. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Haven, White Haven. That is, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what it is.
Perfect. I know the things.
Listen,
just like sports, I know Memphis.
Listen, you're like the Yo Gotti, the Prince of Memphis.
We ain't talk about his double disc he's supposed to come out with.
Yeah, because I ain't listened to it. We ain't got to listen to it. We ain't got to talk about that right now. I ain't listened to it yet. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I think we have this is the last one. She, her are the pronouns. She, her.
Okay. She, her. Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis, great person,
great person. Great
personality. Okay, so hey Bryan, hey Josh, hey Bryan and Josh. Happy early Valentine's Day to you. Last year, my husband and I introduced the idea of a threesome. My God, today. Of course, that nigga was excited to bring in another woman. I'm thinking this may be something I do as a surprise for Valentine's Day. However, I do not want him to feel a way about setting this up without him. The person we are bringing in is a mutual associated. Oh, hold on. The person we are bringing in is a mutual associated. So there is familiarity. Interesting. Do you think he will trip about not being able to pick the other woman? Do you think he would believe I was out here entertaining these hoes behind his back? This is something we both want, but I don't want to surprise to backfire. How would you feel? Please help. Jennifer Lewis.
I'm looking back at the letter and I'm thinking she meant associate.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mutual associate.
That's interesting because I do think one of the things that makes I've never been in a threesome in my marriage. What I will say is that what I will say is
hold on. We can't skip over that, brother. We can't skip over that, brother. We can't skip over that. Don't you do it. We can't skip over that. I know Joshua Jamal Rogers the first.
Yes.
Knows his way around words.
Yeah.
And you said I've never had a threesome in my marriage. To me, suggests
what does it suggest?
that you've had one at some point in your life. I know this is about Jennifer Lewis, but you can't just gloss over that point, brother.
We're gonna talk about that offline. Is that okay? That's okay.
Okay.
All right. So this ain't about me. This ain't about me. I say all that to say that I will not confirm or deny my experience in the matter. But what I will say is that part of the fun is the autonomy of choosing together. Mm-hmm. So regardless of whether it's three single people or whatever it is, like it needs to be mutual choices all around.
Oh, Jesus.
So I get that. I get Bryan. I get how you. I should just kept it. I should just say it. I should not just say it. So listen, I get how you think he could be offended, and I wouldn't be mad if he was. However, depending on the type of man that you have, especially if he's like hyper masculine and all these other type of things, he might just be hella hyped to see another naked woman in the room. So you gotta. Exactly. I'm gonna say it like this: you gotta know your man, and if you know that man, and you know that if you're having thoughts that he might be offended, then sis, there very well may be a solid chance that he will be offended. But if you know in your heart of hearts that he gonna be game because it's just something he really wants to do, then yes. I think if he trusts you though, unless you've kind of had some bi-curious thoughts, which I don't want to say you kind of have to be involved in a threesome with another woman, but depending on your level of engagement, I mean, there needs to be a certain level of attraction there. However, I don't know that he would automatically assume that you was out here just, on your part-time lesbian stuff. I don't think I personally wouldn't put two and two together in that way. So yes, Bryan, to you. I am done talking.
Okay, so two things you can think about. You could be like, hey, man, who's your celebrity crush? Right? And find someone, like Tracy Ellis Ross, somebody like her, those type of things. And, do that. Or just be honest and be like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Let's get it popping. Or you can give like the coupon and be like, hey, on Valentine's, I'm giving you this coupon and this gives you the right to go find a person that we can mess with.
So
but it says mutual associate. Yeah, but it says mutual associate, so that means that it feels like there's somebody you may already have in mind, and then maybe you might feel that he may already have in mind. So, just go ahead and whatever, do the things. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Shouts out to Jennifer Lewis.
Is that the last letter?
That's the last one.
I'm ready to move on. Because I know you're going to ask me the question, so I'm ready to move
on. So are we doing Black man
self-care? Yes, we can do that.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
We can do that. All right.
Woosah. Woosah. Woosah.
We are here at Black Person Self Care.
Yes.
Where we don't bring up pasts. We don't bring up things, because the Lord threw the things that we used to do before we got married in the sea.
Things I used to do, I don't do no more. It's a songwriter said.
All right, so this moment where we do things, we tell you about things we're going to be doing or have been doing, or regiments or whatever it is that we do to take care of our Black selves. And it's extremely important because it's Black History Month. So, it's really not Black History Month, it's Black People Month, where we just be extra Black this month. So, Josh, what are you doing? What are you planning on doing for Black person self-care?
One of the things that I'm going to do for real, I think we talked about it a little bit last week, and like how we were not going to dive into movies that told stories about, slavery and all that kind of stuff. I'm really choosing joy. Every day. I'm being very intentional about that during Black History Month. And that can look different. So I don't necessarily have a specific activity, but I am choosing joy. So for example, this past weekend, it was supposed to be side hustle weekend. I'm supposed to work on like all of my, what they call your 5 to 9 work. I was going to, write up proposals and do all these other types of things. And bro, after I left boot camp on Saturday, I legit just did. I was so unproductive. And when I tell you I woke up Monday so refreshed, right? It was so necessary. So I am just going to like go with however my body and the Holy Spirit leads me. I'm not necessarily going to put anything like there's things that I need to do. Then of course that will get done. But outside of like stuff that's needed to happen, like deadlines, etc., bro, when I tell you I'm going to lean fully into just letting life happen based on my ability to choose joy.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. So that's my self-care.
Yeah. I'm planning on I'm at a work trip. And even though it sounds fun, I've done golfing, I've eaten, drink, I've been doing all this stuff, being on the beach. Like I'm exhausted. Yeah. It's legit work. So when I get home, I'm doing nothing. Just really doing nothing. I'm gonna stay home, chill, relax, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. Nothing.
All right.
It's my self-care.
Sounds great. And you all can always write in what you're doing for self-care too, or post it and tag us. If you're going to get a manicure, pedicure, massage, whatever you're doing, tag us and tag it as Black Person Self-Care, or I am my brothers and sisters keeper. We would love to spotlight you and highlight you. You can even write in and tell us, and maybe we'll share that on the show sometime too. But if that's all, with that being said, understood and accepted, let's get into a greater conversation and get some stuff off our chest.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Bro, let me talk. Let me talk.
All right, we're here, greater conversation, where we, get things off of our chest, things that may have been bothering us and all that kind of great things. But today we're going to actually pass our greater conversation. It's probably more of an issue with me than with Josh, because clearly he's a Memphis Grizzlies fan, and they have been lighting it up. Ja Morant might be the MVP this year. He is starting on the All-Star game this year. Memphis is high on the hog. I, however, am a Laker fan. Chris, our good friend, is a Laker fan. Marcus is a Laker fan. So this is the greater conversation for this episode. Here it goes.
Lakers, y'all do know we had a game tonight, right?
Oh, that's Bubba.
Y'all do know. Yeah. I'm doing the thing. Y'all playing with me. I really think y'all playing with me. You whole trash, man. I talk about y'all. We gonna do it. Y'all ain't did a motherfucking thing. Y'all down by 30, fam. Y'all got Giannis thinking he's still. You mean to tell me Giannis cannot shoot you, Russ? You trash. Sick of you hoes, man. You do know we had a game tonight, right? Tell me y'all know this shit. Y'all smoking too damn much up there, man. I'm not even a fan no more. This shit hurt. I'm throwing away all my damn. I can't take this shit no more. King James chose you, I don't give a damn.
That is Bubba Dub, man. You can find him on Instagram, Bubba Dub 94.
Can somebody find Bubba, and can we please invite him to the show? Can we please?
Please.
Can we please invite Bubba to the show? It would be our distinct pleasure to have Bubba on the podcast. My God.
It's so rich.
It is so rich.
Trash.
And but he just emphatically says it. Blesses me every single time. Every single time.
Every single time. So shouts out to Bubba. Bubba Dub for our greater conversation for today. I think is that it? Are we done with the show?
I don't have anything. So with that being said, understood and accepted, that wraps up another episode of the Jigsaw Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you as always for tuning in every week. Thank you for helping us celebrate the Blackity Black month of the year. And as we always say, this is not the only time we celebrate Black history. This is just the time we amplify Black history. Ooh. This ain't when we celebrate. This is when we amplify because we celebrate all the time. I like that. I just gave myself a word. But yes, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for giving us over 20,000 downloads and listens. We still ain't forgot. We still need to put something out there to kind of celebrate ourselves. Bryan talk about celebrate himself. We need to celebrate ourselves, and that's a major accomplishment. Many podcasts don't make it to that milestone, and
many didn't make it.
Woo, but we are one of the ones who did. My God. But anyway, thank y'all. Bryan, let the people know how they can keep up with us, and eventually we're gonna quit telling y'all to stop, to hold on to June and the summer. We're gonna tell y'all what it is. But for now, Bryan, tell them what they can expect and how they can keep up with us.
Yeah, definitely. As always, we're on every single platform, even Spotify. We're on there too.
Yes, because we would love $100 million contract.
We would love. We'll say nigga all day.
we say it anyway. Nigga.
Listen.
Nigga.
So please, every place we can find podcasts, we are there. The Jigsaw Podcast. We do love you. We appreciate you. Follow us on social media, the Jigsaw Podcast on IG. I am Josh Rogers. I am Bryan Hare. We're out there in these streets doing great things. Check out the website, thejigsawpodcast.com. Make sure you go on different streaming platforms and leave us a comment. Let us know what you feel, how you feel, all the good things. Make sure you share and subscribe. If you're going to leave a rating, 5 stars and nothing at all, we do love you. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Josh, before we sign off, what should the people do?
They can only do what they can, and that means whatever your capacity allows. That's all that you are obligated to do, what your capacity allows you to do. So only do what you can while you can. That means the time frame in which you designate said capacity is when you can do it. So only do what you can while you can in the very best ways that you can. And sometimes your very best is only 80%. And if that's what it is, then baby, do it. But in all you're doing, Bryan, what should they not do?
Not, I was about to say, I was off topic. No, I was going to say, they should spit in somebody's mouth. What they should not do is leave their work undone.
Good night, y'all. Happy sex.
Spitting that what?
Mouth.